We're graduating in June, but before we leave this place for good,
we're checking out some of the best food spots in the area.
I'm Jonah.
And I'm Shannon.
And this is Grub Before Grad.
So we made it to Pinoy Grill and Restaurant. And if you couldn't tell by the flag, it's a Filipino restaurant that serves Filipino food. And me, being Filipino, I've grown up with this stuff. I know what a lot of the Filipino dishes taste like. And while I wouldn't say it's my favorite cuisine of all time, I do have a couple preferred dishes and I hope that they get them good, correct, proper, right.
Into this void of separation of lovers and a dream, 'cause we don't talk as deep as we used to. If I wanted the weather, I could just watch the news. I fear we're losing touch, but part of me still feels in love. Guess some things just can't stay. But what if you and I had passed us by? How did
So what's your experience with Filipino food?
The only knowledge I really have is lumpia. One of my friends in like grade 4 brought it for like a cultural potluck sort of thing. I remember eating probably like close to 20 of them. They're so good. But other than that, I don't really have much experience. I don't think I've ever really sat down at a Filipino restaurant for dine-in or anything like that.
It's hard to say that I'll be fine on my own. I remember how you taught me to. If you were still around, you'd say that I'm acting strange. I just can't help but miss those days.
A bit more flavorful than I'm used to, honestly. They added a little bit more spice to it. Really good.
How different our lives would be, even if our stars don't end up aligning. There's a silver lining between.
That's really good.
That I once held you close to me. You close to me. I held you close to me. You close to me.
That's a good skewer. Took me a while. But it's very, very good.
And I hope you know that we're more than.
Oh, so hot. But it's so good.
'Cause all the things that you said, I still hold tight with me today. If times could change,
That's the lumpia I know. Different sauce, but very good.
that I would change a single thing. We parted ways, but it's time well spent. So love and peace in this life till the end. What if you and I had passed us by?
That's really good.
Even if our stars don't end up aligning.
So good.
Why you standing on my hotel? Those shoes were made for dancing with someone else. Why don't we move over?
Okay, wait, now I need to salvage these.
I'll bet you $20. I'll put a smile on your face.
It just tastes like soy sauce because I dunked it in there, so now I need to do one more. 1 second.
It's the night away
Okay, let's try that one more time.
to make the world's best fluid. We could take our time and get to know each other over cherry.
Tastes like fish, yeah. Would have liked it a little bit more seasoned.
Well, it's too soon to give up on tonight. I haven't had the chance to show you my moves tonight. I think you'd like to see why they would call me Mr. Dynamite. I can show you while we dance the night away, but baby we could
Oh.
Make the world spin slow.
I did not think it was gonna taste like that. Okay, I'm gonna get veggies.
Cherry wine.
It's good though. I love it. I like it.
I've been waiting on this dance floor made for two. Baby, won't just what you can do. I don't wanna waste your time. So
Yep, that's sinigang broth. Okay, now let's try with the meat.
dance.
That pork is nice. Okay, now let's try the vegetables. Okra. Very traditional, very good, yeah. That's sinigang for sure.
Yeah, I said let's dance the night away.
Okay, this is not functioning. How do I do this? I need a doll.
I actually don't know either, to be honest.
Trying to like. Ooh, that's good. Kind of. I'm kidding.
Baby, we could try.
Oh, but it's very good. That's yummy as fuck.
It's too soon to say your mind. Let's have a little drink tonight.
It's good. It has a lot of the different flavors here. We have the Rice Krispies, we got the Jello, we got the beans. The vanilla ice cream is really strong, but overall, really nice. All right, we're back. So it's time to get into some more ratings, starting with food.
I had long silog, which included longanisa, which is Filipino sausage, garlic rice, a vinegar sauce, pickled onions, and a fried egg. I guess technically it was 2 fried eggs, like little circles. It was very cute. I thought it was very good. Huge fan of longanisa. I didn't even know it was called that until just today. I just called it like the sweet chorizo that I usually get with my dad that would make that for me for breakfast sometimes. I thought it was really yummy. This one wasn't the sweet one. It was like the regular flavor. I don't know if that's how that works. I prefer the sweet one, so I thought this one was still good. The rice was really good. It was garlic rice, so it's just more than just plain white rice. Fried egg is fried egg. Never had pickled onions before, and I thought those were really good as well. The vinegar sauce, I don't know what it was supposed to be for. If it's like something I was supposed to dip the longanisa in, or if that's something I like pour over the rice or the whole dish. I don't know, but it was all right. It tasted all right. Altogether, I'd say 4.
I ordered the sinigang and it came with lechon, which is pork. I actually wanted it to be with bangos, which is milkfish, but instead of doing that, they gave me a straight up full fish alongside the lechon sinigang. So I had 2 main dishes basically, which reflected on the price, but don't worry about that. Let's start with the sinigang. It's very on point with what you expect from sinigang. You taste it, oh, that's the sour soup. Oh, you know, that's the pork cooked properly. Oh, those are the vegetables we usually put in here. Oh, I put rice in it and it tastes exactly like what I would have at home. A little bit more on the premium side, I would say, because it has a little bit extra stuff in it. You know, there's some more spices, some more different flavors that aren't put in the one that I have at home. So with that being said, I would say it's pretty good. I really don't know what can elevate sinigang to be super crazy. So at the end of the day, I would still just give it a 4 overall. Moving on to the bangas, it was pretty good. It's like milkfish served with a bed of tomatoes and green onions on top, which I shoved right aside because I'm not touching that. The fish was charred really well, a lot of that smoky flavor. When I initially ate it, I just kind of dunked the whole thing in soy sauce, so the fish ended up tasting entirely like soy sauce, which was kind of unfortunate. But the more I ate it, it was definitely a more mild flavor than what I remember from milkfish. I know milkfish typically has like a sour-ish profile to it, which was kind of missing there. I don't know, lacking that sourness made it better or worse, but good char, good flavor when I got closer to the center. More saltiness in that area, so it tasted more seasoned there. But I wouldn't say it was like seasoned throughout, or maybe it would have been if I put the tomatoes with it, but too bad. So it's a pretty run-of-the-mill bangas, but doesn't make it bad. I would give that a 4 as well. It's fish. Fish is fish. We will move on now to appetizers.
We got the lumpia, which is my favorite thing in the world.
Pancit mix,
Oh, yeah,
which
pancit
was
mix.
a combination of pancit bihon and pancit canton. So we had both the egg noodles and the rice noodles. So thinner noodles and thicker noodles. We also had 1 giant skewer of pork each. Let's start with the giant pork things. Typically when you're served these kinds of skewers, they're definitely smaller and they're more rounded. So the meat is more centered on the stick. This was like a lot of flat meat. It's like kind of if you took a pork chop, cut it into like smaller slices and you just arranged it widthwise.
It's like a really flat thing to eat. It's very peculiar.
A lot of meat on that stick. There was barely any space for you to hold it. Also, like when you would pick it up, it would just flop its way over. But now that I think about it, it's a pretty ingenious way of designing a skewer because you can eat it from the middle without having to like poke your mouth out. In terms of flavor though, it was pretty standard to get. Definitely on the higher end of these skewers, but it's not like the craziest thing in the world because ultimately it's like meat, sauce, grill, which isn't bad. It's just like pretty basic. The sauce that came with it was the same vinegar sauce that came with Shannon's dish. It added to it a little bit, but it wasn't anything that like elevated to crazy levels. So for me at least, I would give it 4.5.
I actually have had this before. There's a church near my house in Toronto that sells them. I do like the flat for the reason that it's easier to eat the meat off the skewers without stabbing your mouth. I also found that theirs was a lot more moist, cooked like a lot better. I think like if we were to get those like right off the grill, I think that'd be like easily 5, but I would also give it a 4.5.
Moving on to the lumpia, 5. Okay, cool, moving on.
Yeah, 5 next.
All right, cool. It's just my favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
Arguably, it's as simple as the skewers, but lumpia is lumpia, and I know when it's good, and this was good, therefore 5.
Yeah, I had a Filipino friend growing up. I've had a lot of lumpia. I know what it should taste like, and that was definitely easily 5.
I will say the sauce was a little bit different. Typically, it's just a sweet and sour sauce, but this one had a little bit of a kick to it, which was nice. So it was like a little other flavor profile to add onto the dish. But yeah, that's all we have to say about it. Yeah. Moving on to the pancit mix. Yeah, as I said, 2 different types of pancit, but it doesn't really change flavor-wise between the two. It's more just like what kind of noodle you're getting with it. They do add a little bit of lemon to the bihon, but since you're having it all together, it kind of just makes the whole thing have a little bit of that lemony sourness to it.
They also had a lemon wedge on the plate. So if you wanted more lemon, you could add that.
I've had the dish so many times. This one added a different flavor profile that I've never had before. It was kind of like borderline Indian. It just had a certain spice in there that just kind of made it a little different from the basic pancit that I typically have at like Filipino parties. That little thing did give it a couple more points for me, but ultimately it's still just kind of like a basic side noodle dish. So I would still give it 4.5, but that's pretty good overall.
I thought it was really yummy. I like that they had like protein on top. The noodle mix, I thought that was really cool. I feel like both of them were good. I would easily give it 4.5 as well.
Moving on to dessert, we both had halo halo. A pretty iconic Filipino dessert. If I would have to name one thing, it means mix, so you mix it. The way it's served to you isn't supposed to be the way you consume it, or else you'd be just kind of having spoonfuls of straight up ice, which is kind of not fun, I don't think. We spent a while mixing all the ingredients together till it was somewhat homogeneous. A scoop of that and boom. It's pretty much what I expect from halo halo. You have the crispy rice, some of the jello-like elements, the ice, the vanilla ice cream on top, the leche flan as well, also on top, along with other stuff like I think beans, and then also like this other cake-like brownie-like, but not brownie-like thing. I don't know what it was. It was good though. It was a nice, interesting texture. I think I've had better in the Philippines, but it's okay. A little overpriced at $11, but I would give it a solid 4, I think.
Yummy dessert. I really liked mixing it when I understood how to mix it without spilling every single topping immediately. It was a very nice blend of a bunch of different things. So it's very well balanced. I think that's something that I could easily have over and over and over and over again. So for that reason, I'm gonna give it 4.5. But once like the ice starts to melt a little bit and everything's like combined and it starts to change color and like everything's kind of purple now, that part, easily a 5. If they just served halo halo as that part and they were like, drink up, I could drink like easily 15 of those like in one sitting. It's reminding me of the pineapple upside down thing. If I could add liquor to the halo, oh my gosh, I'd be unstoppable actually.
For food overall, I was impressed with what we were given. Honestly, it actually has been quite a while since I've had Filipino food, let alone restaurant quality Filipino food. So being able to have that again, it was like pretty refreshing. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did. I was kind of like, oh, it's Filipino food, like, oh, I have it so much, like, oh. But it was actually surprisingly good across the board. I honestly don't think they did anything badly. Very much reminiscent of dishes I've had in my childhood, at parties, whatever. I would put it somewhere in between 4 and 4.5, but just to keep it pretty fair, I'll give it a solid 4.
for me, someone that hasn't had Filipino food a lot, the milkfish, the sinigang, like I've never had these dishes before. So I guess there was a lot of new things for me to try and I really enjoyed all of them. I think the only thing I wouldn't even say didn't like, but I think the thing I liked the least would probably be like the sinigang, and that's an acquired taste of like it's sour soup. So that's just something that I've never had. So I was like, oh, that's different, but I do like it though. So I think overall, I'd probably also give it a 4.
Moving on to service.
I thought the service was amazing. I think it definitely had the Soban effect of just like feeling like you're at home, like you know you're gonna get served, like and you're gonna get fed very well. She was talking to us like almost to the point where like it was hard to film some things. The service was quick. Honestly, I give her a 5. I think she could easily compete with Danny and Olivia and the rest of them.
From the moment we got into that door,
Yeah.
she was talking our ear off. It really reminded me of going to a party and it's like one of my titas comes up to me and just, oh my God, you are so big right now. It was so familial. It felt to me like, oh my gosh, are you like my relative or something? Like the way that she would kind of speak to us so casually. I wish that she came around more to collect the empty dishes. That's the one kick off that I will make. But besides that, she was really on point with it. And for a family-owned place where honestly, the only manpower is her and her husband, they do a great job. Perhaps that's because we were like the only customers at that time. But regardless, it was a lot of food that they gave to us and it didn't take that much time for them to do it. I feel like all these family-owned places just kind of like put a lot more effort on average into their customers. I really saw it come through here. If the service was a little bit more consistent, I think I would give it a 5. But because I wish that she had just come a little more often and she didn't, I would just lean towards a 4.5. But really, really good service. Finally, on to atmosphere.
I did love the atmosphere of the restaurant. I thought it felt very homey. I liked the table setup. I loved the artwork. I didn't like all of it, but I did like some of it. I liked how there was snacks and hot sauces and things that you can buy up front, as well as ordering your food, getting your drinks, getting your halo. Also having the TV again, once again, playing kids shows. It was just like this person doing like cooking videos, but it was all like tiny cooking. I was enthralled by it. So I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
It was a nice space, very well lit. Not the biggest space they're working with, but they have a lot of nice decorations, a lot of traditional Filipino decorations. Like obviously the flag is pretty traditional. The overall color palette I think was very Filipino-esque. And as he said with the snacks up front, that's something you would expect at a lot of Filipino places, whether it be takeout or just sit in. They usually have those Filipino goodies ready for you to purchase and take away with you. It just felt like a relative's house. And for that reason, I, like Shannon, would give it a 4.5. Like it's a pretty solid atmosphere. Not the craziest thing in the world, but it's very homey and it works well as a family-owned restaurant. Moving on to final thoughts. Why don't you get started?
I think that if you're looking for a Filipino takeout to dine in, a breakfast, a lunch, a dinner, dessert, maybe even a quick snack or hot sauce, because we watched someone buy hot sauce as well. For any of your Filipino needs, this is definitely a place to check out. And it's very easy to get there by bus.
There aren't like any Filipino places in this area. There are even fewer Filipino restaurants in the Niagara region than Jamaican ones. And that's kind of saying a lot considering how many Filipino immigrants there are in Canada as a whole. So it's kind of shocking to me that this one's like the closest one to Brock. But with that being said, you would expect this place to be like upcharging you constantly, putting out pretty mediocre portions and overall being like pretty meh quality, but it's not. It's actually pretty affordable. Honestly, it's very comparable to Sunshine Eats in that you can get 8 lumpia for $7. With other places, it's like, oh, go to this because you don't have any other options, like Seoul. But for this one, it's like, go there because it's actually good. If you want that unique flavor that Filipino cuisine brings, this is definitely the place to go. Although we haven't tried any of the other ones yet because they're just too far. Definitely would recommend the place.
I will be going there with the $20 in my hand and leaving with 24 lumpia.
And that is a valid way to go about it. With that being said, thank you all for watching, and we will see you at our next meal.